Hey everybody, it's Dr. C here. Happy Monday to you. It's President's Day. And if you're celebrating, happy President's Day to you. But, not everybody celebrates, especially people of color. And there's a lot of reasons why. But we're going to choose one of them right now. First of all and foremost, President's Day originally, it was to celebrate George Washington, the first president of the United States. Celebrate George Washington's birthday. But here's something that you didn't know about George Washington. And if you live under a rock, you're not going to know these either. First and foremost, he was a slave owner. I think most people already know that. There's a loud ass truck going by. What a jerk. He was a slave owner. We all know that. But here's something that you probably didn't know. George Washington, when he used to travel between his home in Virginia and to Philadelphia, which happened to be a free city in a free state, Pennsylvania, he would take his slaves with him, especially his chef slave. By the way, this information is from the documentary series that's on Netflix called High on the Hog. You guys need to watch. He used to take his chef slave with him because the chef could cook his behind off. In other words, he could definitely burn, right? Okay. But he used to send his slaves back to Virginia before the time period where your slaves, if you take them with you to Philadelphia and you stay there for the time period, I think it's 12 months. It might be 12 to 15 months or something like that, but this is definitely a thing, right? If that slave stayed in Philadelphia for you for that particular time period, that slave automatically becomes free. George Washington, being an astute slave owner at this particular time, knew that and always sent his slaves back to Virginia before the time period was up. That's what you need to know about George Washington. Another slave owner, Thomas Jefferson, our third president of the United States, also a slave owner. You know his history. He used to get his freak on with his female slaves. We all know that. But he used to do the same thing. He, in fact, had a chef that worked for him. He actually sent this chef slave of his to France to be trained as a professional chef. When the chef got back and sued for his freedom, Thomas Jefferson agreed, but said, you got to get somebody to replace you. You understand what I'm saying? This is some crazy stuff, right? Slavery was stupid. These people tried to sell the fact that we were inferior, but would send us to all of these different schools and depend on us to do the things that you would get paid for and have a professional, right? A professional career doing, but we are inferior and unintelligent. It is a bunch of poppycock, and y'all know it. Happy President's Day.